Hey folks, welcome to Shadows in the North, and we are here for our weekly hobby update. One day late this week for Easter Sunday, which was yesterday.
Is that when it was? It was on a
Yeah,
Sun. It was on Sunday. That's
it's on
crazy.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they could be watching this on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or next
True.
week.
True. True.
Plus, you usually record these and then forget to post them until I remind you, so that you might not even post this till Tuesday,
You know, why is it always my job to post these things?
because you're the one that's recording it.
But it's going on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know how technology works.
God damn it, Joe. All right.
Anyway, so this week in we're calling it This Week in Warhammer now.
What did I call it last time?
This Week in Hobby or something.
Oh, well, we're going with this week in Warhammer now.
But yeah,
Don't
that
worry.
that kind of sounds more like we're talking like what happened in Warhammer in general.
All right. You know what?
Like we would be doing like a news update for tournament results. Actually, that's not a bad idea for a video series.
you do that too.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea.
All right.
That would
Well,
be something else. Like for instance, like I think the ETC captains got their vote in last night, and like the AR
they
comp
did.
has been selected
It
or
has. Yep.
ratified.
Hmm.
So we were pretty close with our estimations. We won't have to do another video, thank God.
Thank God. That was nice and long.
It was
Um,
an hour and a half. Did you? So usually I will listen to our videos, like just to like kind of like give ourselves feedback. Have you listened to that one all the way through?
I have. I have.
Okay. What'd
Yeah.
you think?
I,
Impressions.
I thought it was okay. I think it was
Okay.
obvious in some cases when we didn't necessarily know what we were talking about.
Right.
Like, I don't play this army, and I don't
Neither
really
do
play
you.
against it that much. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
so we're gonna kind of just go with it here.
Uh-huh.
This sounds good, so we're just gonna roll.
Well,
So,
which one like showed you that the most?
um, I feel like there's a lot of stuff in the dwarves that we really didn't touch on per se. I mean, I feel like there's a lot more dwarf lists that are out there that we didn't necessarily mention as being able to get by the comp, personally.
Gotcha.
Just because neither of us know it well enough. I mean, you sort
Uh-huh.
of dabble with dwarves, but like I only play against them, and there's only certain things that I know. Um, I feel like that was kind of a lack. I feel like Skaven was as well to a lesser extent from your end, but definitely to my end. Like I know basically what's good, but I don't know all like the loopholes and everything that
Gotcha.
a veteran Skaven player would know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think we did a good job with the elves and with
I
the
did I
um,
did
with
listen
demons.
to my elf rant. I actually got recommended by somebody who wishes to remain anonymous, who sent me a PM on Uthlin. Said maybe you should re-listen to that, and I stand by every word. Not to sound arrogant, I feel that strongly that the compact is still in our favor. You can still build some pretty nasty lists.
You can.
Um,
You can.
and yeah, yes, I probably should not have said stop bitching, but that's
Yeah.
kind of what it's come down to. If you read through like some of those like forum topics, um,
Oh, definitely people bitching.
yeah, that's all it is. It's straight up whining and belly aching.
Yep.
But
And
so
get ready for a whole lot more of that when ninth edition drops. There's going to be a whole lot more bitching. Oh man.
yay, can't wait. So how did you do last week with your challenges?
So I got the Secret Santa done,
Yeah,
which is good.
that's good.
I started working on your shield a little bit, but I didn't get that far because I went
Uh-huh.
home for the weekend.
Right.
So they're like base coated, and I have the. I just need to. Pay, I didn't get to painting the metal, and I didn't really do much freehanding. I did start on one of your banners, and I started off by, that like one banner you gave me that was like, I mean, I thought it was a little aggressively highlighted.
Which
Um,
one?
for the silver helm one of the guys on the
The
wolves, or no,
purple one?
yeah, the purple one.
Yeah.
So I added a glaze over that to dull down the contrast, and I think it ended up turning out pretty well. So then I'll be able to. It's just down to picking a design and painting it on. The glaze ended up working out really well, and yeah, so it just kind of dulled it down enough to where it looks it'll make it easier to do freehand over top of it basically because with how contrasted it was be very difficult for me to get a freehand design that pops. So I just dulled down
Gotcha.
all the contrast,
All right.
basically. How did you do?
I did okay.
Yeah?
I kind of well with that fluff hammer tournament coming up, and I'm still not really sure about the list I wanted to take.
Yeah?
That one list I'm still working through is taking a bunch of Sisters of Avalorn.
Okay.
So I kind of got motivated, and instead of like painting the 10 Reavers, I went ahead and started painting some Sisters instead.
Oh, nice.
But other than that, I kind of jumped on. I stayed pretty true, I think.
Okay.
Did you paint for 7 hours?
I definitely painted for 7 hours. Yep.
Yep, me too.
Yeah. The main guy, the Secret Santa ended up taking me a little bit longer than I thought. I
Hmm.
painted probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours every night for the 4 nights that I was working on that. So it definitely took me longer than I thought, but it got done. That was my main priority, was finishing it.
Right.
Um, for at least the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be paying more attention to trying to accomplish my goals rather than trying to accomplish my goals in the 7 hours.
Hmm.
Because I have bragging rights coming up and I need to get my army painted.
Sure.
So the goals that I'm setting over the next couple of weeks are all geared towards getting that army finished on time. And I'm planning to have, with my current pace that I'm setting. I mean, I'll talk about that when we get to that. But basically, with my current pace that I'm setting, I'm working in basically 2 to 3 weeks of leeway, where I can get, if I fall behind 1 week or stuff comes up or whatever, I will still get it done in time for the tournament. So that's the plan.
Outstanding.
Anyway, let's go through your images of what you did this
Yeah.
week.
Sure.
So,
So this is a really bad picture, but this is after day one. I got the sand and cork on the base, and then I base coated the sand. Um, what else did I do? Oh, I base coated the rider in the back corner there.
okay,
Yep, that was day one. Like so now like basically what I'm down to is just final highlights on everything
an assembly.
and assembly. This is pre-assembly though. This is just showing that yep, we got everything pretty much done there. I've just got final touch-ups on the rider, and to paint the bone on the chariot and get it assembled.
Yep.
And that's the final product. So I think it came out pretty well there. I'm really happy with the champion's cloak. I'm
Yeah,
actually
the
really
cloak looks
stoked.
great.
Go back one more. I'm really happy with how the skin tone on the Marauder came out.
It did come out really well.
Um,
What'd you do for that?
yeah, so I based him in Rakarth flesh, like just a
Okay.
really thin layer over the black primer. At the time when I got the chariot, I only had black primer.
Hmm.
I really prefer gray primer.
Okay.
I hate white primer.
I
Um,
agree.
prefer gray, but I only had black. Um, so I did Rakarth flesh base over the black primer, and then I hit it with 2 layers of Cadian flesh tone.
Mm-hmm.
Washed it in Reikland flesh shade, repainted Cadian flesh tone, and then did 1-to-1 Cadian Kislev, and then 1-to-1-to-1 with Cadian Kislev and Pale Flesh from Vallejo Game Color.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so I think it came out pretty well. It was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good. That model's for sale, by the way, if anybody wants it.
Just email who?
Whoever.
No, 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 no,
Malsar
no.
at
Mouse. Okay.
gmail.com. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Um,
What's
and
going on
then
here?
that is a bunch of bits I clipped. So I clipped 24 halberds, demold lined them, 24 offhands, demold lined them, and then 20 cloaks, mold lined them. That
How
took
long did
like
that take?
so long. It's like 3 hours.
3 hours and one human soul. It was the
Oh
cost.
my gosh, it took so long. So
Yep.
long.
Yep.
I was so frustrated that I was like, gosh dang it, like I do not want to do this anymore.
Yeah. No, that's
So
understandable.
yeah, so I kind of had to switch gears after that.
Yeah.
Get back to painting.
Yeah. No, I
I
mean,
was thinking I would hop on and start assembling some sword masters this week, or some executioners that I'm using as sword masters.
okay.
But no, like I'm kind of done with assembly for a week, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean that's this is what I was saying, hinting at before. Basically, was that these older models, when they were just figuring out the new
No, these
casting
are newer
technique.
models.
Well, newer, but they're less new than now. I feel like the mold lines are much better now than they were going back 10. When were these made? These were made 2 years
Last
ago?
year. No,
These were
last
last
year.
year? Oh.
Dark Elves.
Oh, yeah, that's right. These are Dark Elf ones. Well, either way, the mold lines apparently suck, so have fun with that.
It's just elves. Like even if there's not many mold lines, they're really hard to get to.
Right, right. And also because it's small, I guess the mold lines stand out more.
Yeah, and then I know dry brush. Oh, and then so here's my sisters. Um,
Hmm.
so I had assembled them a week before, and then I cut the collars off and put on Glade Guard heads.
Okay.
And then that's a transition paint with the airbrush from a purple to a blue white down,
Looks
and
good.
then yeah, I think it came out pretty well. And then I just painted some wash into the recesses.
Nice, nice.
The wash doesn't look super hot if you like hold it up close. You know what I mean? Like you can see I
Yeah,
definitely painted it in. But
yeah.
like as soon as you like what it really helps with is the transition when you're like more than 6 inches away, and it
Got it.
makes the whole cloak pop. You know what I
Got
mean?
it. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So, um, like it's only if you're like really looking, like with a fine eye, you'll see that. Yep, that guy painted it in. Um, that you can, does that make sense? I don't
Yeah,
know if
no,
I'm
I know
explaining
exactly what
that
you're
well.
saying. Yeah.
Like I'm looking at one right now, and there's a little bit splashed up onto the edge, and
Gotcha.
it's kind of whatever. Um, so that I think that came out pretty well.
Hmm.
Today, like for this week, I'm really gonna try and get these guys done, these ladies done. Excuse me,
Nice.
sexist. My bad. Um, and then I went ahead and got their boots base coated too.
Yep.
Um, so I think what I'm gonna do is stick with that black armor that I've been doing,
Yep. I
and
like
then
that. I like the black armor. Looks good.
do the gotta do red gems on them, gold trim, then do like a yellow orange flame for the bows.
Nice. And that'll be good.
Airbrush that. Yeah, it should go pretty quick from here on out now that the boots are done.
Yeah.
Um, I found the leather today was pretty hit or miss, but more hits than misses.
Leather can be difficult to do. It can be
Yeah.
difficult to make look good.
Right, and then when you're just trying to crank 20 of them
Hmm.
into sitting before your wife gets home with the kids.
Yeah.
Um, so then I picked up, like you see those six in like the third row there that are
Hmm.
bright Power Ranger blue.
Right.
Those were my test models when I was like practicing a couple weeks ago on the White Lion cloaks. Um, and I was when I was practicing with different techniques. So then I picked up 23 more on Bartertown, these Shadow Warriors. So I want to get them stripped this week, get them ready for painting.
Great.
I'm gonna clip. There's 3 champions in the unit. One of them is gonna get turned into a banner bearer. One of them is
Mm.
gonna get turned into a musician, and one of them is just gonna lose his sword.
That'll look good.
Yeah, I'm gonna drill a hole through the palm there and put a little brass rod for a banner.
That'll be good.
Yeah, and then that'll make a nice unit of 30 kind of archers. Um, to fit my theme a little better than the maiden guard that I have been using as my archers.
Right. No, yeah, I agree. I think that'll look really good.
Hmm.
Really tie it all together.
Yep,
So I guess that's it. That's your last image, right?
I think that's my last
Yep.
one. Yep.
All right. So this is what I was doing. So I was doing, like I said, the Secret Santa. The Secret Santa. The whole idea is Perseus. Oh yeah. One last thing I have to do on him is I have to finish the shield, which I didn't have time to do because of Easter. So that is one last thing I have to do for him before he's completely finished. But
Hmm.
I'll get into that later. But this is after day one. I got all the white done, which was difficult because it's a whole lot of white, and white is a bitch to paint. Oh my god. White's not an easy color, especially when you're trying to make it look gradual and well done. But I think it turned out okay. I think some of the areas don't look great, like the tail I wasn't that happy with, the mane I wasn't that happy with. I ended up hitting it with a little bit of a glaze of a gray to kind of dull down the brown. Um,
Gotcha.
but I was trying to basically go with the shadows being some sort of like in some areas brown, kind of like dirty, and in some areas gray, kind of like clean. So kind of trying to play with colors to give it different textures in different areas of the model. And I think in total it ended up turning out pretty well. This was day two. I got the blue done, and I base coated the metal areas in what's it called? Beastly brown, which is a good undercoat for any sort of gold, generally speaking. So I finished all the blue here, which I was pretty happy with. I think I did a good job making it kind of look like silky, which was the idea. Really intense highlights on the brighter areas and a smooth transition to the recesses. I think it ended up turning out pretty well. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. The blue?
Yeah, the blue.
Give me one of those colors that I have a really hard time seeing.
Yeah, that one. That color.
Yeah,
That color.
no, it looks good. Yeah, looks silky. Looks it looks pretty sheer too, which is a cool effect.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get, because I figured elves would be less likely to be using like wool and more likely to be using some sort of like nicer,
Silk.
nicer cloth.
Because
This was day 3. This was obviously, in case you didn't notice, this is when I painted the metal, which is dramatically different from this picture. So I painted all the metal here. I used Vallejo liquid gold on these, working up. So the base coat was, I believe it was,
we probably use like what, old gold?
no, old gold was the first highlight.
Oh, so
Yeah.
red gold?
No, it wasn't red gold. It was like one of their other golds. I don't know. It was a different gold, and then I highlighted with old gold, and then I highlighted again with white gold for like some of the brightest areas, and then I washed in the darker areas with Vallejo wash sepia. Kind of get like that nice like transition. It not only dulls the sheen, which I thought was good, being in the shadows, but also darkened the metal a lot. So I got a nice transition. You can sort of see it there. That was a little stark. I ended up touching that up underneath by his foot there on the front barding. I touched that up a little bit and made it less stark, but it gives a pretty nice transition. You can see like the area by the front hoof, that it's a lot brighter as it angles up. I don't know. I think it ended up turning out pretty well. Yeah, that's just another picture. And here's the finished model. This was the end of day 4. So here is with the wings added and on his base, obviously. And yeah, no, I think it turned out pretty
well.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. That's just a darker picture. It kind of shows you how the base ended up looking. I also added some earth pigment to the hooves to kind of give it a weathered, worn look. Like he's kind of like running through dirt, 'cause obviously horses running in an actual field or never have clean forelocks. Yeah, that's the front. I did a transition from regal blue to magic blue to enchanted blue, or to lightning blue or electric blue on the farthest edges, and that's the gem. You can also see in the middle, kind of with the contrast there. You can see the transition a little bit on the shoulder pad there of how the metal looks when it was all finished. It's kind of like a nice gradual transition, which I liked. I don't know what I'm trying to show here. There's something I wanted to show here. Oh, you can see like the emblems on the chest and how I painted that, like with the blue around the white and the gem. And then this is the front underneath the wings, which I was really happy with the way this blue transition worked out from the dark blue to the brighter blue on the bottom. And then sitting in the gem, I think it really kind of pops. After I was done the entire thing and done, you can also see how the darker and dirtier areas in the front forelock, as if adding some dirt and weathering. Another thing I did after I went through the whole model, I varnished it with a clear coat, and then I threw on an oil wash, and then basically along the metal to kind of dig into the recesses and around some of the other areas that I thought weren't emphasized enough, and then I gave it a nice matte coat over top to finish it off. So yeah, that's the end of that.
So what are you working on this week?
I'm going to go back to this image. This week is the week of horrors for me. I have 40 horrors plus unit fillers I need to do. I was mentioning this to you a little bit before the show, but yeah, you've seen You Magnificent Bastards. If any of you haven't seen that, first of all, check out that blog. It's a fantastic blog. They are fantastic painters. But one thing that really kind of resonated with me when I was looking at it a couple months ago was one of the guys, he's the guy that does the Cthulhu Demons. He has, for his horror units, a unit filler that it takes up 3 models in the second rank, 1 model in the front rank. And the unit filler symbolizes the spell that the unit has. It's a good way to fill the unit, make it look interesting, but on top of that, it serves an actual practical purpose on the battlefield in that it tells you this unit has treason or this unit has blue fire. So I'm going to try to do that, and I need to build all those things. I need to build all the horrors, and perfect world, I want to get on all of my horrors, all 40 of them, the first couple airbrush passes done and get up to the point where I can take over with the brush. So like get the base coat done and get the first couple highlights with the airbrush on the skin. Fortunately, they're all skin, so it shouldn't take me that long. And then go back next week and pick out the details with a brush.
Right.
So that's basically what my goal is for next week. It's a week of horrors. If I get my horrors done next week or early in 2 weeks from now, early in 2 weeks from now, then I'll have a week to do my plague drones, and then I'll have 3 weeks to get my last few models done, and my bases done, and the display board, which I also need to do because that's also part of your grading for the tournament. So I should have plenty of time. I have 5 weeks. This is an eternity compared to some of my other armies that I've painted. So yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Who's winning the game tonight?
Duke. Go Duke.
Go Duke. No, don't go Duke. Go Wisconsin.
I don't know about that.
Go Wisconsin.
Are
you actually gonna watch the games since you got so much painting to do this week?
Yeah, no, I'm watching the games. I'm watching the games tonight. I will finish assembly of all the horrors tomorrow, and start working on the airbrushing after that. So.
Gotcha. But you're gonna at least get an hour done tonight, right?
Oh yeah, I will after the game.
Can you believe that the game starts at 9:20 tonight Eastern?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's a little insane.
Well, I think that about wraps up our show for tonight.
I agree.
Go ahead, drop us a comment for anything you'd like us to do for this week. If not, I think we'll do some list reviews. I think for ETC Comp.
Yeah, I think list reviews would be good. Or we could talk about Lore of Undeath. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I still want to talk about Lore of Undeath at some point as well. Okay. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure out what we're doing.
You actually have to take Lore of Undeath in a game, I think.
I haven't, no, but I faced it, I guess, like 4 times now, which is, I mean, not bad. We could also ask Jacob Brandon for his take on it.
Yeah, we could get Jacob Brandon on the show, I bet.
That's true. We probably could. That would be kind of cool to have, because he's obviously, I think he's played more games with Lore of Undeath than, I mean, he played more than anyone I know with Lore of Undeath, that's for sure.
Right.
So.
Alrighty.
All right.
For Shadows of the North, I'm Malasar.
Yep, and I'm Lord Kernian.
And we're about as cool as we sound.